Hello and welcome to ERP Radio, your recovery resource. My name is Jennifer Stewart, and joining me is my most awesome co-host, Ben. Hey, Ben, what's up?
Hey, Jen, how are you doing?
Doing really good. How are you?
I think you're the most awesome
I
co-host.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we have such a great, inspiring topic today. And our topic is, again, good to great in less than 10 minutes with Jen and Ben. But we're going to be talking about forgiveness. So, Ben, you're the best person to talk to about this because you understand how forgiveness has to do a lot with living a sobriety lifestyle, right?
Absolutely. And most of the steps in AA and whatever program you go into have a lot to do with not really forgetting your past, but identifying your past and moving forward. So in recovery, forgiveness is huge because addicts and alcoholics walk around running through the lives of everyone and causing damage and hurting themselves and hurting others and acting in a way that is very hurtful to a lot of people. And when they get sober, they get a clear mind, and that's when they start identifying the fact that they did all this. So then you have this whole deal of shame and guilt and why did I do this and how am I going to repair that? And that's where forgiveness comes in. So it's absolutely a big part of staying sober, because if you walk around with this guilt and shame and regret and I should have done this and why did I treat this person that way? Things could have been better with this person, or any of those thoughts, you're never going to move forward, because you have to leave the past in the past and identify that it happened and learn from your mistakes, forgive yourself, forgive others, and move forward.
Exactly. What has forgiveness taught you?
Forgiveness has taught me that it is okay for mistakes to happen, because people are going to cross you. You're going to cross other people. It has taught me that it is okay for this stuff to happen, but as long as you don't dwell on it and you just move forward and you don't carry around this guilt and shame. And, now what I do is if something like this happens and I start carrying around resentments or something, or I get pissed at somebody, I just have to forgive that person. And I can't, because I physically and mentally can't hold on to these, I call them like sick thoughts.
Sure, yeah, they are.
So I can't hold on to that, because then I'll get all crazy. And basically the other person doesn't really care about it,
Right.
If I get a resentment at you, and I'm mad at you for whatever reason, you probably aren't thinking about it. It's just me dwelling about it.
My favorite quote of all time is, whatever you think of me is none of my business.
Absolutely, that's a
and
great
that's
quote.
So true.
And that has everything to do with forgiveness.
Does.
It's like you cross me, you probably don't think about it, But
Right.
I'm sitting there like,
obsessing,
right? Jen, why would she do this?
No, I think forgiveness is huge, because even if you don't suffering with addiction, just forgiveness, to live life in that mindset of forgiving and non-judgment, it just dissolves all barriers within yourself as well. So
we all know that one or two people who just hold on to these grudges,
right?
That'll just maybe even hold on to for them forever, and
right.
They're just usually stressed out, angry people to be around. It's just like, let it go.
Just let it go.
Yeah,
life's too short and life's too beautiful, right?
Yeah, nothing is that bad where you need to hold on a grudge for your whole life.
Exactly. So, Ben, do you feel forgiving yourself made sobriety easier?
I do, but it wasn't like a spur-of-the-moment thing where it was all of a sudden like, oh, I forgive myself.
Right, no, it's a process.
I would say it was a very, very long process, because when I got sober, I had these thoughts of, how could somebody, cross me? How could I cross people like this? And how am I ever going to forgive myself? And I didn't know if it was possible. And so through intensive work, through goings, and through what I learned in rehabs and stuff, I was able to start forgiving. And it was definitely, like you said, a very slow process. It started with forgiving myself for all the things that I did, for crossing people, for stealing money from my parents, from stealing money from my friends, from not talking to my siblings, from breaking every relationship I was ever in. And that took a long time to get over, but then I realized that, the more I work on myself and the more I can show people that I'm doing the right thing now, and they started trusting me and these relationships started to rebuild, I was able to, through that work, I was able to then forgive myself.
So, Ben, no, I thank you so much for talking about this, because forgiveness is huge when it comes to self-healing and moving on in life. So, no, I thank you. And again, to our listeners out there, if you know anyone who is suffering from addiction, we have counselors on call 24/7 to answer any questions. I'm going to give you our number. It's 844-548 3407. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys next week.